What we want to know is, will diplomatic pressure affect Israel's plans in the West Bank? Joining me now, Dr. Mustafa Barghouti, a member of the Palestinian Legislative Council. Thank you so much for joining us, Doctor. First of all, this idea that this settlement would end the idea of a Palestinian state, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, in reality, what you have is a fascist Israeli government led by fascists like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, whose goal has been, like Netanyahu, since the very beginning of their political life, is to destroy any potential for peace, any potential for a compromise. And actually, the building of the settlements is not only a death sentence to the idea of a Palestinian state or Palestinian freedom, it's a death sentence to the possibility of peace, to the possibility of a two-state solution, to the possibility of coexistence, to the possibility of having a compromise. That's what they mean. And their goal is clearly not only to confiscate Palestinian land, not only to destroy our lives, our economy, our education, our health systems, but also to ethnically cleanse us. If you try to connect between what's happening in the West Bank and what's happening in Gaza, you find only one thing: acts of genocide and one goal, which is ethnic cleansing of all Palestinians from Palestine. In reality, we have 7.3 million Palestinians on the land of historic Palestine versus 7.1 million Jewish people. What can be the solution? If it is not two states, which they reject, if it is not one democratic state with equal rights, which they also reject, then what they want is only ethnic cleansing.
Obviously, the Israelis deny that. They say it's about degrading Hamas as much as possible. But clearly, European leaders have got huge issues with this settlement as well. They are protesting against that. But, you know, they were predictable protests, weren't they? Do you think they'll make any difference whatsoever? Will they stop Israel going ahead with this plan?
No, unfortunately, they won't, for two reasons. First of all, because Israel is relying completely on the support of Trump's administration, on the support of the American ambassador in Israel, who has the guts to even say there is no Palestinian people and that these are not settlements but Israeli towns and villages, in violation of international law, of course. And because Trump's administration is doing nothing to stop Israel from continuing this horrible situation. But the second reason is that statements and condemnations mean nothing to Netanyahu. The only thing that will stop Netanyahu if these condemnations translate into acts of sanctions. If Europe and the international community stop using double standard. In the case of Russia, 11,000 sanctions were imposed in Russia in less than 2 months. In the case of Israel, it has been allowed to be above the law and to be impunitive to international law and even impunitive to the resolutions of International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice.
Do you think the European countries are being disingenuous then? Voicing their concerns about the settlement, but actually taking no action that's actually going to prevent it?
Not exactly, because here you can see there is still a big gap between the positions of the peoples of Europe who have discovered the reality and the truth about Israel, and that Israel is not a victim in this situation, it is the aggressor, who have discovered also that Israel does not represent Western values as they used to claim, and who have discovered that Israel is not a democracy. A democracy cannot kill 62,000 people in Gaza, and including 20,000 children. They've discovered all of that, but their governments still follow an old policy. And in my opinion, what you see in Europe is a great transformation, very similar to what happened in the case of apartheid in South Africa. First, the people changed, then the parliaments, then the governments. And we have already seen some governments like Norway taking actions in the direction of imposing sanctions, at least on Israeli settlements. This is a big change, and it will continue and it will grow. The reality here is that Netanyahu is hurting not only the future of Palestinians, but also of Israelis. And definitely he doesn't care at all about the lives of the Israeli captives, whom he will kill if he proceeds with his military operation in Gaza.
Dr. Mustafa Barghouti, thank you so much. Obviously, Prime Minister Netanyahu talking about
Thank you. Thank you,
trying to
Max.
get those hostages.